guy sent me a message. I see you in YouPorn. I want to earn. Really? I just heard about and when I was living in the United States, but I was Canadian, and they are a Canadian company, but they do business all over the world, and service the entire world, including the USA and all that. And
Hello,
hold on a minute. What's up, man?
how are you? Hello,
What's up?
hello,
Yeah. What country are you in, Hamid?
how are you?
What country are you in?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. What country are you in, Hamid? Anyways, Hamid, I'll see you later, brother. Yeah, I haven't done one in a while, but I got my latest payment for $140 from Pornhub. So it's not making too much money, but it's making United States dollars. Actually, they pay in United States dollars, so that was nice. Because that was the whole reason I did it, was to get the money off of it, create the career. I didn't really care. Well, I guess there's all different stages you go through with it, but the reason why I kept making those videos was because they were starting to generate revenue. I was like, hey, it's pretty good revenue. But then I got sick of it. I was like, hey, I already did so much for $140 every 2 months or whatever the hell it is for me right now. I'm pretty content. And usually I do a video if I'm really in the mood to do a video. Like, it's got to be a special moment. I mean, there's been a couple times I threw a bunch up, but generally it's a pretty special moment. A lot of people see the videos over time and whatnot. It affects a lot of people differently. Um, I lost it, like always. I lost one or two porn videos that should have been up this year or last year. There was one good one that, for some reason, I don't know if I accidentally deleted it or I lost it. That would have been a good one that I missed. It was a really good one. It was like, but yeah, then I eventually, like I had planned, I want to move on to the female and male one, to get that, but I have to contract it out and all that. So I've only done solos, really, and masturbation or what have you, stuff like that. But eventually, I'm going to work out. I'm getting to the point where I'll be able to work out a deal with the females or what have you, and do the contracted ones where you're able to have the females featured in your videos, like other guys do. Or there's even, sorry, even couples. I'm not going to be a couple, I don't think, because I just not that. But maybe just one individual videos each, and then it's going to be a different girl every video, kind of like that Peter North or whatever. like that. The Bahamas. I know I'll hit 1 million views on there though. One of my most popular contents actually. Instagram used to be really big too. A lot of people know me from Instagram. And there's nothing they can do. Even if they took down my one Insta, I'm still on Flickr. It's already ingrained in a lot of people's heads that I was super famous on Instagram. But now I'm on Flickr, which is getting a lot of views too. And I'm still on Instagram, but not with my main. I had a huge profile with like 6,000 photos that's now moved over to Flickr. Actually 14,000 photos and videos is how much content I've done for pictures. 14,000. All right. That is a lot of images and stuff. And now not every single image is my image. Some of the stuff is also people that I've sort of branded with. But yeah, a lot of this TikTok, Instagram. I did TikTok. I got like 1,400 TikToks out of 19,000 photos. We're talking 20, almost 20,000 pieces of content when we're talking stills and video or GIFs and stuff like that. So I'm pretty proud of myself. As you can see, 65,000 views. Actually, it was already like I did 3 different Flickr accounts. This is the one they're letting stay up. We did 300,000 views the first time we posted. Then we did 250,000 views. So we're going on to be a. I'm going on to be an actor, entertainer, person that pulls in like in the end millions of views collaboratively. But that's not millions of dollars, that's just views, right? It costs thousands of dollars to live every month. I get my disability and I get my gifts and I get my yada yada. Rich Forever's been pretty popular on my Flickr. And the thing about Flickr is, the longer I pay a bill like $9 every month to have it up. It's really nice on Google and all that because Rich Forever was not on Google. It was just on Instagram. So now, once it gets more into the search engines, it ends up being better. That was the whole reason we took all these stills. We put them on Instagram. Actually, I thought Instagram, yeah, when I posted on Instagram, I thought it was going to be kind of like how Twitter and this one is, where it's all wrapped up in Google and all that, but it isn't. You have to take it off. You have to back it up off Instagram and then upload it. But we know Rose. See, I'm the guy that is doing that for Rose. He's got a whole guy doing it for him. He doesn't do it for himself. Like me, I have to do that for myself. I have to back up my own Instagrams. But Rose's so famous, he's got another guy named StacksAMilli that does it for him, and then he can focus, kind of like people preparing food for you. He can go focus on his next thing because I'm busy doing all that back. But even, hey, he should still back it up within his own family too, though. He probably does. He's probably got mad hard drives. That's what I got to buy soon, is another hard drive. But even my content gets more views than Rose. But I like the way it mixes in because everybody called me the white Rick Ross. They said I look a lot like Rick Ross and all that too. So that's why I uploaded the Rich Forever. Gunplay, a lot of gunplay. Album covers, I do a lot of album covers. Finally, it's all propagated or whatever. It's gotten to be all in the albums. So now I can sort through the albums. We got stuff from all my tour in Brampton. This is at Jehovah's Witness compound and all that. I wish I had a video over there. It was well, not Jehovah's Witness compound. What is it called? Bethel. Yeah, I got to go to Bethel with my auntie. And I wasn't really doing vlogs back then. I was fighting this court case back then, and that was my main energy. I was coming up with legal strategies. I was talking to my lawyer. We were all over it. We had to travel to the courthouse all the time, pay for a lot of food, gas money, snacks, lawyer. I had to pay the lawyer thousands of dollars out of my own pocket. I didn't have my computer system the way I used to have my computer system. Everything was screwed up. A lot of stuff. Actually, it's a lot of stuff that I managed to hold on to for for I lost a lot of files, but here's what happened to my Cadillac Escalade over in Teeswater. Brand new tires out of nowhere. We're thinking Cam Thompson popped them. Here's the photos. Went and bought a brand new tires. Everything's supposed to be. And look, then I wake up the next morning and it's popped, and all I hear is bull crap coming from Phil and the other one. Here's my old bird Ferrari at my auntie's place. She was a good bird Ferrari. That was a long time ago. My auntie didn't keep her too clean, but I got all the pictures of her. I wish I had more video of Ferrari, but how long can you sit there and aim a camera at a dang bird for, you know? This one I really liked. My auntie's place is dirty, but look at this. That's how Ferrari used to look. It was such a cool bird. I want to get another one eventually. But she was a fancy canary, and a fancy canary from the pet store. I mean, I bought her. I knew she wasn't going to last, all right, because I knew that with my auntie, it wasn't going to work out. And I knew I probably, but I at the same time, you know, I wanted the fancy canary, and we had her for like a couple of years. But I don't recommend doing that. I recommend really taking care of your canary because it was a great canary. For $130, you can get a fancy canary or a red factor. Actually, the fancy is a little bit more expensive. See, that's what a lot of people didn't know, and I realized maybe I don't know if my friend Matt does or not, but we used to play this game, World of Warcraft, and you would get all these mounts and all that, and it would be like fancy, swift, this, that, and the other. And then I realized, oh my gosh, all that stuff is in real life too. Like the fancy parakeet, or you can either get the normal parakeet or the fancy parakeets and all that. The fancy ones are more exotic, more nice. They usually have the more cooler design on them, color. There's something special about them. They're the fancy parakeets. They're like the most pristine ones. You pay top dollars. Well, you don't pay top dollar, but you pay more expensive than you would pay for, say, some other parakeet. For some reason, the fancy canary is $10 more. I'm not sure what the difference would be. Maybe, oh, I think when it grows out, and that's how the games were too. You know, some of the fancy ones looked a certain way. But that's where I bought it, was PetSmart, and I was happy for a long time with my canary. But then my auntie wanted me to leave her apartment. She kept the canary because I couldn't take it with me traveling, and she never took care of him. So he went from I used to clean the cage to pretty bad when I came and seen him. And then her dog's also now gone too, the late Arthur. And her husband, Floyd, who worked for the Brampton thing. So it's not looking good, but I know that the next one will be Carolyn, the one that was standing beside me there in Bethel. Eventually, she'll pass away, probably. And then there goes me and everybody else because I don't feel too good either. Today I was not feeling too good. I have to find my new. I never was the one to say that this dog food was any good for the dogs, you know. I feel like if you buy this dry food, it's kind of like you can buy it. It's good to buy it to kind of like fill your dog up with it for times that you need to fill them up or whatever, kind of like a spacer meal. But everybody knows, like we've seen the videos and the TikToks of some families, they want to eat like not every day, of course they don't want to eat this. But yeah, you really want to feed them like a human being actually. And then very rarely do they have their kibble. Like you want to if you're having steak and stuff for dinner, If you really want your dog to be healthy and be the healthiest dog it is, then you're supposed to make your dog steak and everything for dinner too, kind of like it's your human. And that's how you're going to get your healthiest dog. And then you can give them kibble if you just are too tired to make a meal for them. And that's how they're supposed to be, the dogs. But a lot of people don't treat their dogs very good. They just give them kibble, 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 and the dogs' lifespans are low. Their attitudes are not good. You don't see their health. They're not as happy as they would be, healthy, not as active. You're not getting that full dog experience. They're not, and you're not either. But there is some really good dry foods that you can find too for the times when you need to. Sometimes it's like cereal. They like to sit down and have their little kibble and all that as well. So that's how I always wanted to be. But it gets expensive. But that's how it's supposed to be. It's not about the expense. That's a dog. It's like a human. Even more important for some, like they think, they talk, they do things, and they're a part of your family. So you don't want to keep poisoning your parts of the family. It's good stuff, but you got to mix. It's more of a mixture, if anything. Or it's not something you want to give them every single day for breakfast and lunch. Same with the canned food. It's not all about just dry food and canned food. Do we eat canned food every day? Very rarely. Same with the dogs and the cats. They don't like it every day. They want to have but here the thing is, some of the cats, like even my own, they get stuck on it or whatever with their system. You have to wean them off of it. They have to get really, really hungry to be able to eat. Some of them can't even stomach normal food anymore because they've sort of changed into eating this stuff, which isn't good for them once they process it necessarily. But no, that is how a lot of them are, I guess, and that's why they make this stuff, the certain ones and all that that have the whole meal inside of it and all that, because that's all they'll eat. Some of them. Because if it's from the get go, I think they turn more like my cat's a little bit elderly and he's not even, but he acts elderly, sort of. Whereas young cats, well, that's the thing. We don't want those. That's the thing. Like a hungry cat is gonna tear through the chicken and all that. You know, they get hungry. They get very aggressive when you see a lion killing its prey and all that. That's, I think, generally why we domesticated them the way we did. But look at this one; it's eating like something because they get really, really mean and all that when they don't have their food. They start scratching, they start biting when they go at their food. They fricking. We only know them generally when they're pouncing on it for play, but if they're pouncing on it for hunger, it's a way different story. With cats, they like to smell our food though. They sit there and smell it and salivate over it. Some of them eat some food. Turkey, a little bit of turkey we've given the cat before he's eaten it. This one's funny. They're having it. They have like a roast chicken, obviously, or a turkey on the